story for the next one that we're going to be talking about, I feel is just like a really cool concept. It feels like a very boom concept. And
yeah,
yeah,
it's very boomy.
It's very boomy. And
yeah.
so, and to the yeah, I will say just the name of it, The Seasons Have Teeth. This has been, I read it twice. How about you? How many times did you read good old The Seasons Have Teeth?
I probably read it at least twice. There's a couple of the pages that I just couldn't like stop looking at.
Yeah, the art is like pretty. It's like classic boom. You know, like it's like it feels like paint. You know, like somebody's like painting these pictures. You know, so that's a huge shout out to the artist and the colorist. Let's just say the team is written by Danny Waters or Waiters. Sorry about that. Illustrated by Sebastian Cabral. Colored by Dan Jackson and lettered by Nate Piccolos of Blombat. Yeah, I thought that like just the combination of everything was just, it was great. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull mine down carefully.
Carefully, be very careful.
There's a couple pages, couple panels where I was just very, I don't know, captivated by the artwork, and I think I'll just do the big one because I like showed this to Kate, and she was like, "That's an amazing drawing." Yeah, this big old splash page. Like, I looked at this for like probably 15 minutes. Like,
yeah,
like not just like. I mean, I'd flip back like through the page, but then I'd flip through the comic, but I would go back and like look at it, and it's just all of it is just so detailed. The color scheme is perfect. When it goes in the past, it still like has this green tone to it, but you know it's in the past, and you're getting little bits of his the trauma. We're getting bits of the trauma that is being led up to in like the past story, but then we're also just getting the same thing in the present with him coming in the presence of the spring god or whatever it was.
Yeah, like so I guess how we could say this is that the seasons are like personified as big monsters. So that monster that Matt just showed, if you were watching the video version, that's the spring, again, either like monster. It represents the season. So they will talk about like, you know, springs come. So it's interesting because one of the first things, like how the book opens is, I'll just see if I can read it. Spring is on its way. Spring is on its way. So they board up their windows, wrestle screaming children into their car seats and flee before it. Yeah. And then I think it says somewhere that spring hasn't been there for like a couple of years. For the scent of green things for the first time in half a decade. So it seems like how the seasons are personified or just like whatever comes through your town in the last time, something like that. I would guess.
Yeah, well, it seems like people move to a different town based on the season. Like everything gets boarded up, and like that's how the intro was. It's just like everybody was leaving town, but our main character here, I don't know, I didn't write down his name. Dan Waters. No, Dan Waters is who wrote it.
I was going to say it's an autobiography. Maybe we don't know what he's into.
Andrew, a retired conflict photographer. And like, okay, so like in the past, like when it's showing those green panels, he's talking about wanting to become a wartime photographer because he wants to capture the images that show people how like awful it is. And he was like reading poetry with his wife, or it was probably his girlfriend at the time. Yeah. And so he had this new dream and aspiration, and so this is part of his past that we get, and we know that it's leading up to some trauma because we know his wife is no longer with him, and so he's having these memories, but now he's kind of in this doesn't care state, I guess. That might be a little eccentric to say, but like,
no, it definitely seems it.
Yeah, but he's still coping with this tragedy, I guess, and so he doesn't have much to lose, And so he stays behind to take photos of the gods as they roll into town.
Yeah.
And like his editor or whatever, the person that hires him to be in papers and whatnot, is like trying to talk him out of it a little bit, or just like checking in on him, like, what are you doing? Like, no, you should get out of there. So
Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed it. I'm
Yeah.
excited for this series. I love a good boom story, and
Yeah,
this just
same.
seems like as you said, it's very boomy.